This is definitely rock bottom, right? Don't answer that. A lot has been going on with this club. Incomings, outgoings. Marcus Rashford already has a mural in Barcelona. Quite a sight. Let's talk about Manchester United. Hello everyone, hope you're doing well. Welcome back, I'm Tinashe. I've been holding off on making a Man United video for some time because I was just waiting for a little bit more activity in the market, a bit more energy. I wanted more movement. But then I saw Mbeumo in his Sunday best at Carrington, and this video became a necessity. So we've spent a bit of time in this current transfer window and the club's made a bit of movement, some really interesting signings there, which we want to talk about, of course. All of this despite the poor performances last season, which clearly contributed towards decreases in earnings and cuts to a lot of the deals that are made, especially ones that are tied to Champions League qualification and all that. Despite this, the team that finished in 15th place has already spent just under £150 million and counting, because we still have about a month and a half left of this current window. I'm really curious to see the overall revenue for Manchester United over the 24-25 season. I guess that'll only be out beginning of next year or so, but what we're probably going to see there is the team that finished in 15th place in the Premier League probably cracking like a top six position-ish, at least, in terms of the most revenue earned for any European club over the course of the year. And the reason we know this is certainly going to happen is because United were 4th over the 23-24 year and finished in 8th that season, although they did win an FA Cup, so I guess there's that. I mean, listen, I'm making a lot of jokes, but it's not that surprising. This is Manchester United after all. Their financial performance hasn't been linked to their sporting performance for quite some time now, over a decade, almost a decade and a half at this point. But it also speaks quite a lot to the fact that players still want to go to the club. It's still seen as quite a big club to go to. Like, when the news was first breaking out that Cunha and Mbeumo were interested in United, there were some people, probably newer fans, that were confused at this. But a lot of people were pointing out that you shouldn't be that surprised in this. A lot of people were also saying, I look at players like Bryan Mbeumo and Cunha, and I'm like, these are the kinds of players that United would have signed quite often, that Ferguson probably would have signed in the 90s and the 2000s, where his entire shtick was just getting the higher performing players from, let's say, the mid-range clubs in the league, bringing them over to United and then just turning them into fantastic players. Or rather, not fantastic, they were already fantastic players, but putting them inside his system. Speaking of which, let's talk about Matheus Cunha. So I only caught the first half of United's match against Leeds, their preseason game the other day, and this was Cunha's first time in a United shirt that was seeing him, and he looked really, really good. It was just refreshing to see someone that can actually carry a ball confidently, draw fouls, play some really, really good forward play. He wasn't looking too convincing in his pressing. There were quite a lot of times where he was just looking around, not really sure what was a trigger or what wasn't, or where he should go. I guess that sort of thing will come with time. So, like I said, only his first game. Very, very high hopes. We haven't seen Mbeumo yet. Actually, at the time of me recording this video, the signing hasn't even officially been announced. But from everything that we've seen so far, all the pictures, the leaks, the reports, I think it's more or less just a done deal. I think it already was a done deal for weeks at this point now, but they were just hashing out. Now, this is another player that is fantastic in possession, quick feet, can go down the line, can go inside. He can do a lot of things. Cunha and Mbeumo scored about 35 goals in the league combined last year, and they provided 6 and 7 assists each. We can only hope that they gel well with whichever striker we see playing most games for the club. If it does end up being Højlund that we see in that role, then I just hope that they can see all the runs that he makes. Like, listen, Højlund, he's not that good at hold-up play. He seems very nervous. He loses the ball quite a lot when the team is just trying to push the ball a bit further up the pitch. But he makes great runs. And he's never found by Garnacho and by anyone else. So hopefully this can change. If not, there have been rumors of Nicholas Jackson? Honestly, he isn't any worse than any player United have in that position right now, but, he's not a hell of a lot better. Let's put it that way. But with all these new players coming in, the question then arises of what are we going to do with the players already at the club? Amad Diallo played quite a lot at right wing back last season, so I only assume that he's going to reprise that role going forward. Bruno Fernandes will be permanently in the midfield, behind those 10s, which I think is good for him because his first instinct at all times is just to move forward and press forward. So in the transition, I think that's going to be, if we have these two players of Cunha and Mbeumo and whoever's up front, I think that's going to be really, really good for them. And then we have Mainu, Casemiro, and Ugarte on his side. I don't know about you guys, but I actually personally quite like Mainu as a number 10. When he's actually in form, his feet are quick, he can find a good pass, he can score a goal. He's still young though. On to the outgoing players, and we come to the part of the video that everyone wanted to see. The famous Bomb Squad. So it's actually quite funny to me that these guys are called the Bomb Squad. Unrelated, but also kind of related. You guys know that I'm a massive rugby fan, and the Springboks national team, which by the way is, the best team in the world, both the senior and the under-20 side, but that's not important. Their front line, or at least their substitutes of their front line, are called the Bomb Squad, which is just big, burly, strong men that sit on the bench, and then in the 60th minute, 50th minute plus, they all get brought off the bench and they physically overpower every team that they come up against. Now, the Bomb Squad in their case is a good thing. The Bomb Squad in Man United's case is... it couldn't be more polar opposite, actually. Lately, it seems like you just don't want these guys to come on the pitch at any point of the game because they're not overpowering or outrunning anyone. The players included in this highly criticized group of men include Antony, Marcus Rashford, Jadon Sancho, Alejandro Garnacho, and Tyrell Malacia. Some people are including Andre Onana in that, and I wouldn't disagree, but I think he's just less likely to go than a lot of these other guys. And I think Tyrell Malacia is unfairly lumped in with these guys because I don't think there's been that many, or any, that I know of at least, disciplinary transgressions or any bad rumors that have come out about him and his agent trying to force the club into X, Y, or Z. So, unfortunately, it just hasn't worked out for him. I don't think we should lump him in with the rest of the Bomb Squad. According to The Athletic, the club asked these players to only report for training after 5 p.m. for their own personal upkeep because the club can't legally deny them access to the facilities. Also, 5 p.m. is also conveniently after the training sessions for all the players that are within Amarim's plans. And it sounds harsh, like it really does, but it makes sense. Right? If you want these players to be gone, you're asking them to go find their own teams, then you don't really want them to be eavesdropping and seeing all of your tactics going on during training in the event that they go to a Premier League club, or a club that's directly competing with them at the very least. Although that looks like it's not going to be the case for Marcus Rashford. As I'm recording this, it seems that all the reports from Romano and everyone else have indicated that he's in Barcelona already doing his medical. He's agreed to take a salary cut in order to make the move, taking him down to a measly 250,000 euros a week, which is just, I think, daylight robbery, and I don't know how he's going to be able to feed himself in the country, but this is a sacrifice for football. I'm curious to see how he actually fits into Barcelona because, well, I know that Rafinha played quite a lot of games on the left-hand side, but it seemed quite obvious that they were trying to push him towards the central areas. They were trying to go for Nico Williams on that left-hand side. That fell through quite spectacularly. So now they have Rashford. Will he start? Will he not? I'll have to look into that in a separate video, so you can tune in for that. But I'm not going to act like this entire thing isn't quite sad for me, and I didn't have both Marcus Rashford and Anthony Martial as my wallpaper 10 years ago. Both of them debuted for United in the same season. Both of them showed unreal levels of promise. It's disheartening how it turned out. And for Rashford, he'll be 29 years old next year, and quite realistically, it may very well be his last chance to make a World Cup squad. And this is especially considering all the top English talent that's coming up across all the top sides in the country. Jadon Sancho is someone I feel a little less sympathetic for. I don't know, he doesn't seem like he cares. He's never really seemed like he cared, so hopefully he can find a home somewhere. Alejandro Garnacho is someone that, if you guys watch the channel, you know that I've defended quite a lot, even when he has bad performances. Just because he's young, he has lots of potential, but it seems as though his attitude is just going crazy. Wearing that Rashford Villa shirt right as the season ended and the rumor mill turned was clearly calculated. Antony? Nothing bad to say about Antony. So obviously we're in the off season right now, so we're not posting all that many videos, but as we get closer and closer to the year and we, understand a little bit more about the vision of the team and how things are going to look and, maybe 1 or 2 more signings are coming in, then we'll see more videos come out and I'll speak more at length. Even still, at this point in time, I feel like it's important for me to just say, I have no expectations for this season. Expect nothing. You won't be disappointed. That old saying, it rings very, very true. But on that note, last year, and I guess the year before that, I more or less stopped posting the, I guess, bi-monthly Man United updates because it just hurt so much and I was not having a good time. It wouldn't be a good time for you guys either to see me being sad on camera for no reason. But this season, we're going to revel in the sadness if that comes. Plus, if the team does do badly and, manager roulette happens again, then it's entertainment for everyone, isn't it? Everyone but me. Anyway, there we have it. Like I said, just a quick one, a mid-transfer window update because I am craving watching my team play. Actually, just, top-level European football in general, and this is the closest I can get. I'm thinking we do the next one on either Tottenham Hotspur or Newcastle United, either later this week or early next week. Let me know in the comments which you guys prefer. Also, don't forget to check out the podcast. That's all for me today. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you're having a great day. Cheers, and I will catch you in the next one.